Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is here on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, released by Disney. It can be found as a standard slipcover, as well as a non-exclusive steelbook, both available at your local and online retailers. Now, for me, the Planet of the Apes franchise has always been a mixed bag, but I've always appreciated its place in cinematic history. With the newest entry of Kingdom, I did feel it had more in common with the classic films than it did with the last few movies from director Matt Reeves, at least in regard to setting and time period. Technology certainly has come a long way since the original films, and I think the story for this one largely works. It's a fun movie, and I see myself going back to it again. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has an aspect ratio of 239:1. It was finished at a 4K digital intermediate, and it supports HDR10. Watching the new 4K of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I suddenly found myself lamenting the demise of 20th Century Fox and their excellence in producing 4K discs. I bring this up because nearly every new release from that studio on the format was almost always pristine, it was visually bold, in short, stunning looking. The last Apes entry from the studio was exceedingly crisp and sharp, so fast forward to the Disney-produced Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, it almost feels like old times. Let me just say, this new film on the format is a very good-looking, borderline excellent visual experience. 20th Century's Prey on the format was also like the Fox discs of old, at least in a visual sense, so some things do carry over, it seems. Anywho, the digitally shot film truly does look very nice on 4K. The image is immaculate from start to finish with no source issues. The 4K DI does manage to impress, with even most of the CG elements showing solid depth. Of course, live characters, landscapes, and set pieces benefit the most and show off textures very well. The apes, more often than not, do look nicely realized, though eagle-eyed viewers will no doubt see some of the gaps between real and CG. The palette also gets a satisfying boost with HDR, no Dolby Vision as is typical with a Disney physical release. Still, colors do show an appreciable boldness as a variety of earthy tones, lush greens, and other natural landscape features reveal strong vibrancy. Black levels are stable, not quite deep inky levels, but they do successfully contrast lighting sources, such as torches, very well. Shadow detail is also on point, and I didn't spot any obvious signs of crush. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray supports a Dolby Atmos audio mix, which folds down to a Dolby True HD 7.1. There is also additional international language tracks. Naturally included is the Dolby Atmos, and I have to say it's a rather paint-by-numbers audio experience. That's not to say it's bad, far from it, but it just feels a bit textbook. The film is all about ambience, mostly involving nature and the various forms of wildlife, birds, for example, and other setting sounds. To that effect, height activity is very engaging and most notably heard in the soaring of falcons above, the rushing of water in the third act, and other intermittent audio cues. The bulk of the in-film ambience can be found in the mid-level and rears, which are very immersive. It often feels like you were right there in the middle of the natural surroundings at many points during the film. There's also some instances where enemy voices can freely travel back in the surround environment, and I think it's effective. When the action kicks in, there's a good bit there too to keep things interesting. The dialogue through the center channel is clean and clear with no issues. As for the LFE, I found it to be more on the reserve side. I felt the low end was better served on the previous Apes movies from Fox, but Disney is known for not really having a heavy foot when it comes to the low end, so this doesn't come across too surprising. The included Blu-ray disc is where you will find the extras here on this release, beginning with a general making of, which is standard stuff and includes interviews with director Wes Ball, the crew, as well as cast giving their thoughts. There is also a good amount of deleted scenes included, which run about 30 minutes. The big extra, however, is the inclusion of the film in its entirety with a split screen of the pre-visual effects characters and set pieces. This honestly was a fascinating experience, and while I intended to only watch about 30 minutes or so just to get a gauge for the review, I found myself watching the whole thing again in its entirety. I can easily see potential filmmakers studying this, as well as most fans who are interested in how the donuts are made in regard to films with heavy visual effects. For the picture quality, I'm going to give Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray an A. The transfer for the film is a very solid offering and one that should please most fans of the 4K format. The palette shows nice vibrancy and the overall image clarity is firmly on point. I don't think many would walk away feeling disappointed with this transfer. And for the audio, I graded this an A as well. The Dolby Atmos is a fun and often entertaining time in your home theater, though it doesn't take too many chances as far as dynamic audio activity goes. Still, this is a solid mix and one well worth listening to. And for the extras, I graded them an A+. I've got to give credit where credit is due. The inclusion of the split screen visual effects pre and post film is something that I wish was done before and more often. If you are like me, this one will certainly be worth revisiting time and time again for this version of the film. So that is my review of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray from Disney. If you're interested in picking up a copy for yourself, I will leave a direct Amazon link for both the slipcover and steelbook in the comment section. If you use them, they really help out the channel. But if you have the disc already, let me know your thoughts down below. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.